Peace and blessings, everyone, and thank you for coming to this hybrid version of Boog City 15. Thank you so much, David, and everyone else at Boog for allowing me to be here, for allowing me to help coordinate some of the other readings, as well as being a reader myself. Today, I'm going to actually be reading from Every 1st and 15th. This is my first chapbook, my first collection I'm very excited about. All about the brick city of Newark and living from every 1st to 15th. This can be purchased at Digging Press, which is going to appear right across this screen with the magic of video editing. And before I keep on going, because I already spent like 30 seconds here, let me just get into some poems, because that's why we're all here. Again, thank you for being here. I'm actually going to start with the third poem from the book, Precious Moments. On every counter and beside the entertainment center, spaces claimed by little wings plucking harps, trumpets leading an unknown charge of credit cards. Boy knows heaven and its angels live in his home and aren't charged rent. He cleans the face of angels to be closer to figuras, to steal their breath, to stimulate their worth. Every Sunday he wipes down bookshelf altars asking white candle for permission. When lit, boy anoints their feet to be reminded of words not often uttered. They speak in minimalism. This is their design, casting shadows on a picture frame's upper lip. He thinks himself into creationism, from factory to check to store to home. A mom to always allow pennies like pills, counting them all in the bank account of her belly. So boy answers to these tchotchkes because angels breed more angels. Boy reimagines her prized figurine from First Communion with its beady cherubim eye, allure, the circumferencing of a thrift store halogen light shining on more porcelain dust collectors. And he thought he heard it say, "She made me once," or maybe she is one of us. Thank you. All right, so this next poem is actually a poem after another Newark poet, Marina Carrera, and it's after her poem First Generation. And this one's called Third Generation. We are grass-cracked cement, dollar store chalk breaking on rough sidewalk, dust kissing our jeans when children cross streets, watching out for buses code switching between careful buses turning and cuidado, autobús están girando. We are empanadas for breakfast and white rice for dinner. We are CNC sodas and sunflower seeds tucked into our chucks, New Balances, SB Dunks, or Retro 4s. Our countries are our minds, the megapixels of palms, grass, and sands seen on barbershop and bodega walls come in 4K. We are change the channel on your IO triple play. We don't know how to respond to It's Your Heritage Month because every month should be our month. Someone says, for what? Our forehead wrinkles in repeat. For what? What? Que? For what? For que? We is for K and our last names leave us naked. We know there are more of us, never think there are too many of us. In America, we're included if we see us in America until they don't see us in America. We are raised by our grandparents here or not, while our parents are still figuring it out. They are still figuring it out. We are a part of the same gene pool until a different one is uncovered. We are the equivalent of standing in the wrong line at the DMV, understanding English faster than we forget Spanish, and that still doesn't license us our star-spangled freedom. We are at the friend's house with the clear enough pool and say, damn, if only we can live in weather like this year-round, where that friend reaches across 4 generations, pulls it back to say, you wildin', I'm not on the island, I don't even like the heat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm pretty sure you're clapping it up on the other end or snapping on the other end, and I do appreciate that. Please blow up the comments because a month from now I will be in the chat and I'll be looking at all the comments coming in, so all that is very much appreciated. This next poem is about a barbershop. It's been a long time since I've been to the barbershop, if you're able to see my beard and my hair, but these poems still stand the test of time, and maybe it's something that you'll be familiar with too. This one's called On the Seventh Day. The barber pieced me up, I asked him for aventura. He said this place service history, no adventure without cleansing. We talked sports and more music, and I wondered if he should fade my temples into a 1, 2, or 3, or cut me close enough to call my crown Brooklyn. I'm not a Puerto Rican from Brooklyn, but sitting in this chair gets me closer every week. I see a new reflection between the framed rooster and flag, another framed pair of boxing gloves, another man's hands framed on the wall next to Jesus, his hands the same pinned icon to gather the beads around my neck. Nailed to this chair, my hair is just a simple sacrifice. To grant another man's hands permission to feel as a straight razor to my temple. Resisting a resistance for the sake of beauty, the madness crafted in the beatitude of a shape-up to match a trimmed brow. For $12 a week, I can watch my hair revive itself unruly. In 3 days, I will covet next Friday to be born again, fresh to death, to watch heavy clippers in a hand and feel them quake to my crown, to almost feel the earth tremble. Thank you very much, thank you very much, thank you very much. So this one is a favorite of a lot of people. This one's actually a personal experience that I had. A lot of these poems are. This one's called Wildflower. He grew from different gashes in concrete, always covered in dirt. No one named him, he's nondescript, he's evergreen, weather never killed him. He was a piece of sidewalk sprouted, immobile, and cracked from dust on windy mornings. He thought standing still will draw others to his wilting. No one helps, but sometimes they fed him his twiggy branches, scratched to pieces by bugs burrowing the broken bark, invasive eczema arms animated in surrender, and he hated them all. He was an angry preacher crying nectar. He couldn't bear the beating of his sermon where the sun showed him too clearly, screaming as a kind of release. He continued to germinate on street corners, continued to starve on what didn't matter, flitting in the wind, his epilepsy, a body spliced between itself and the world that dropped him only once. That time he tongued the ground with his teeth and mixed blood with dust. He cried and no one ever heard him because it's hard to see one flower dying in a full meadow. I think I have time for one more. Again, I will put this link for the book from Digging Press. Thank you so much again for everyone that had me. This last poem here, right here, is called When a Roadside Altar Speaks. Pop, pop, pop. I'll say this fluently. There were sneakers, lots of sneakers. When it happens, it feels hurricane harbor, hot and wet, swift. The way House of Flats pop tires out their chromes. From here, the sky is a flooded candle, and don't repeat me, but that's how we're really saved. Like a bow around your thumb, a reminder, a milk crate or two from Papi's Bodega that quiets down the block. Please, speak me in my fluency, even if you can't hear me. When you see the child's hand, his orange dusted tips wrapped around a forefinger, tell the mother I'm that line of dark between